starts second bull run. Jackson's second corps has taken position along Sudley Mountain. Part of his forces are occupying an old abandoned railway. Behind Stony Ridge and atop Buck Hill, General Pope is amassing his forces. His goal is to eliminate Jackson before Longstreet's corps can join up. Time is of the essence. Following Pope's orders, Army Virginia 3rd Corps lunges forward. Stewart's cavalry moves out to block any reinforcements, and Hampton's horse positions itself on the hill behind Sudley Mansion, and Sigel's troops join the assault. It's early morning combat, and I'm trying a variation for combat resolution. Each side rolls one die. If the die are equal, each side receives a hit. If one die is greater, then the defender receives a hit. I don't mean the defender, I mean the lower total. And if it's more than twice as much, the defender receives 2 hits. Also, there has been some concern about a 3-hit kill wiping out a block and nothing can be done about it. Now you only do 2 hits maximum. So if you're going to lose a unit, it's because you ordered them to stay and hold and fight another round. Anyway, let's see how this goes. The first attack, Army Virginia 3rd Corps, is attacking a defender in cover, so they subtract 1 from their dies. This 3 becomes a 2. The Confederates rolled a 6. That's 2 hits on the lead Union unit. They flip to spent and retreat. Reynolds' division presses the attack. Sigel's attack. His 2 becomes a 1. The Confederate 4 is more than twice what the Union rolled. Therefore, Schenck takes 2 hits. Steinwehr presses forward. Next round, Reynolds' attack. Reynolds rolls a 4, being reduced to a 3 because they're attacking a defender in cover. Jackson rolled a 3. They each take 1 hit. No one retreats. Now if someone does 2 damage, somebody could get eliminated. Union 4 is reduced to a 3. 3 is more than twice 1, which is what the Confederates rolled. So that's 2 hits on the Confederate. Ewell's division is lost. The Confederate detachment falls back. Now Steinwehr's men. Union attacking units in cover subtracts 1. They rolled a 1, so that's a 0. So anything the South would have rolled is going to do 2 damage. They rolled a 5. Steinwehr falls back. Well, those combat results were very similar to using 3 dice. And now it's turn to mid-morning. Reno's 9th Corps is found racing up the Newmarket Road. Stuart comes out of column and occupies Mount Pone. Hampton's cavalry would love to run forward and intercept any Union reinforcements coming up the road, but there's too much going on right here, and they cross back over the Bull Run and occupy Sudley Spring. General Sigel rallies his troops and sends them back in for another attack. Heintzelman's 3rd Corps is found racing up the Warrenton Turnpike. Reynolds and King press ahead. Pope places his artillery on top of Stony Ridge, and Jackson responds. His artillery fires on the advancing Yankees. Jackson moves his bags to a safer location and orders A.P. Hill to save the center. Early morning combat. First Pope's attack in the center. A.P. Hill flank attacking King's division. Extreme case here. The North has rolled a 6, the South has rolled a 1. The North is getting flanked, so the 6 becomes a 5. But a 5 is still more than twice as much as 1, so A.P. Hill suffers 2 damage, or 2 hits. He absorbs 1 because he's elite, and he flips to spent. He presses the attack. King will not be denied. He's being flanked, so his 6 becomes a 5. 5 is equal to the Southern 5. They each take 1 hit. King retreats, A.P. Hill retreats. In pub battles terms, they didn't both retreat, but the combat is unresolved, and whoever can get to it next turn will resolve the battle. In other words, it didn't finish at the end of this turn. It's still going on. It's just undecided at this point. And we'll move ahead to Sigel's assault. Again, the South rolls a 1. Sigel's 4 gets reduced to a 3 because they're attacking in cover. But 3 is more than twice of 1, so they take 2. South takes 2 damage. Flip and retreat, pushing A.P. Hill back. Now things are looking very dire for Jackson. He may look like he has quite a force here. This is detachment, 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 and artillery, so he really has nothing down here. But now it's turn 3, and Longstreet enters. Longstreet has 5 infantry blocks and some artillery. Now you see the reason why the North had to attack, and attack quickly. Again, Pope's men press forward, and now his artillery on Stony Hill attempts to quiet the Southern artillery on Sudley Mountain. 5 on 3, Southern artillery takes a hit. Reno's 9th Corps is activated, but they run into traffic and will come out of column. Sigel's troops press ahead. Jackson is drawn. He deploys bags. His artillery recovers, and his troops begin falling back. And just as all seems for naught, Lee and Longstreet appear, and Heintzelman forms into line to meet him. Late morning sees the South falling back. Longstreet arrives, and there's no actual combat at this time. Turn 4, midday. Reno rushes his 9th Corps to the flank. Stuart holds and continues to cover the Confederate right flank. Army of Virginia, 3rd Corps. Pope orders Kings and Reynolds forward and opens up with his artillery on the Confederate artillery. And the artillery is ineffective. Pope has ordered Heintzelman's Army of Potomac, 3rd Corps to drive on Sudley Mountain. Longstreet occupies Groveton as ordered. Porter's Corps moves on Mount Pone. Sigel's Army of Virginia, 1st Corps. And fortuitously, Jackson moves last. A.P. Hill falls back. Midday combat. The cavalry simply falls back. Army of Virginia, 3rd Corps drive on the Confederates. Federals get a 6, Confederates get a 1. 2 wounds on A.P. Hill cause him to fall back. Now if he pushed this attachment ahead of him, they'd be eliminated. So on the offhand chance they can do something, they hold and we go again. Now Federals subtract 1 because they're fighting in cover up a hill. The 6 becomes a 5. The Secesh 5 becomes a 3 because it's a detachment. 5 on 3 is 1. 1 eliminates the detachment. It's worth a shot. So versus artillery fires first. The first attack only can affect the Union. 4 on 1. So the Union wins that one, but it doesn't count. This is just the artillery fire. Now, together. This time, Confederates rolled a 6, Union rolled a 2, Heintzelman's men fall back. Not to be outdone, Hooker's division moves up. I rolled 2 and 2, but the Confederates are in cover. So this gets reduced to a 1, 2 is twice as many as 1, Hooker is thrown back. And now this gets tense in turn 5, mid-afternoon. If Army of Virginia 1st Corps or 3rd Corps is drawn first and can get ahead of Jackson's reaction, they'll sack the bags and that'll end the game. If I were playing against an opponent, this is where we'd be rolling to alter turn order and hoping to go first. But since when I'm playing solo, I know each side's plans, I simply go on the Chitras straight up. Oh, forgot the combat down here. And actually all that happens here is Stuart's cavalry falls back. Mounted can always just leave combat with foot. Porter's orders are to wrap around the Confederate right. Army of Potomac, 3rd Corps. Heintzelman's division. Pope has ordered them to hold a defensive line, and he deploys bags. Army of Virginia 1st Corps, under Sigel, is ordered to push back Jackson's line. Now those 2 units of Jackson's are trapped there. Jackson is drawn. His orders are to defend the bags. This close, the only defense he can do is to actually contact. And he fires on Heintzelman's men, driving Hooker back. Army of Virginia 3rd Corps. They're ordered to attack the bags. There is just enough room for them to get around and attack. And that's it. They've contacted Jackson's bags. Now technically this doesn't get resolved till the beginning of the combat phase. And 2 things to note. So no combat gets resolved until the combat phase. So it doesn't matter who you pile up there, it's not going to help. They've contacted the bags. At this point, panic ensues. Now if Jackson hadn't already been drawn, which he has, they could pack up the bags and head off. And that would leave the Federals with a minor victory. However, this time the bags are captured. This time, Second Bull Run is a decisive victory for the Union. And General Pope, for all his brilliance, is credited with the victory. Good game.